Second time's the charm, my battery ran out. And I'm having to re-record this and I'm so hot. Actually, hang on, I'm just gonna put my hair up. It's so hot in here, guys. It just gets really hot when we're filming. Hello, wonderful internet people. I'm doing a solo video today. As you can see, I'm not with Abby. And that is because probably both of us, but I know I specifically have a couple of things that I wanted to do that she doesn't really need to be here because she knows the story or whatever it may be. So if there's a video that we want to make where one of us would just be like staring at the camera, we may as well do it by ourselves. I don't know if she has any plans or anything specific that she wants to do, but this was one thing that I wanted to do. So welcome to Storytime with Hannah. This is the story of how I got high on Delsym. For those of you who don't live in the US, Delsym is a cough medicine that's like, it's not actually cough medicine, it's a cough suppressant. So if you have a cough, it will, it doesn't fix it or like help it to get better. It just holds it back until the 12 hours are up. Delsym, I think, has a 24-hour one, but we take the 12-hour one. When this happened, I think everyone in the family was sick, but it was just like a cold. And it was one of those colds where you have like a really bad cough. And I hadn't really gotten the cough yet until there was one day where I started having, you know, that niggling cough where it's like, feels almost like you have something in your throat and you just like try to keep coughing and then it just turns into that nagging cough. And I went to bed and I was like, I don't think I need, it was just kind of a little nagging. I was like, I think I can go to sleep without it. For me personally, I like to only take things like a lot of medications. I'll only take them if I need them to help me sleep, because I figure maybe just my body working through it by itself, like during the day, I will be sick for a lot less time, like maybe it'll go faster. But if I'm not sleeping well at night, like sleep helps you stay healthy too. So I'm like, if it's interfering with my sleep, I will take the medication. So before this particular night, I was like, I think I can get to sleep without it, but just in case, I put one of these little things, which is, we call them 2-ounce midgets. It's basically like a plastic shot glass. It has 3 markings on it. I don't know if you can see that. So the first one is 1 ounce, the second one is 1.5, and the third one is 2 ounces. And I know it's not metric, so I'll not translate, but I'll explain the details of it as I go along. For those of you who don't live in the US, you'll understand it even if you don't really understand how much it is. It'll make sense of the story. I laid one of these 2-ounce midgets out in the bathroom in case I needed it, in the middle of the night, in case I needed to take some Delsym. And so in the middle of the night, I wake up coughing. And I was like, oh, it's fine. Maybe I just need to cough a little bit, and then I'll just fall back asleep. And I coughed a little bit, and then I started to doze, and I'm like, great, and then I need to cough again. And this happened over and over again, like just as I was dozing off, I would cough and wake myself up. And this happened multiple times. I kept thinking, this is the last time. And then my brother and Abby and I, we all sleep in the same room, and he started tossing and turning and like rolling over, and I was afraid I was waking him up. I was like, all right, that's it. Like if I'm gonna be waking up the entire room, I'm taking Delsym. So I was like, okay. Got up. Now you have to keep in mind throughout the whole story, I was really sleepy. Like I was barely awake. That's why this happened. So I went to the bathroom, grabbed the 2-ounce midget and the Delsym, and the Delsym was one of those bottles. I don't know if this is anywhere else besides the US, but it has like, in order to see the dosage, you have to peel like this sticker back and then like a sticker under it, and then like, it's so confusing. And in the middle of the night, I couldn't figure out how to do it, and I'm like, if I just think hard enough about it, I'll be able to remember. Because again, in the US, you have with most medications, and certainly with cough medicine, once you hit 12, you take the same dosage until you're an adult. So I've been taking the same dosage for like 14 years. And I'm like, if I just pause for a minute, I'll be able to remember. So I sat there, and it took me a ridiculously long time, but I finally was like, I think it's 2 tablespoons. Now I just have to translate the tablespoons into ounces. You do not want to be doing maths in the middle of the night. Like, no. not good at math anyway, but certainly not in the middle of the night. For those of you who are used to the metric system, there's 3 teaspoons and a tablespoon and 2 tablespoons in an ounce. I was thinking about it and I was like, you know, I think it's 2 tablespoons, so I think it needs to be up to the top line. But that seems like a lot of Delsym, and I don't really have that bad of a cough. It's kind of just a nagging cough. So I'm gonna do it up to the middle line, the 1.5 line, which is 1.5 ounces, which, if you did the math, that's 3 tablespoons. So already ODing on Delsym, if my memory was serving me correctly. I took it, went to bed, no, not surprisingly, conked out. Woke up the next morning and I had a splitting headache. And it was not probably the worst one that I've ever had. I've never had a migraine, but it certainly was up there. It was the weirdest thing that I have ever gone through, I think. Like at first I couldn't even focus. It was bad, but then the other thing was that as I woke up a little bit more, I started to feel like I was floating. And like my head was floating. I started kind of feeling like out of body and like I wasn't controlling myself. I was a little bit, it was a weird cross between like kind of crabby because I had the headache, and also like there's a word for it that I can't think of that's like, you know, kind of like blissful. Like when you feel just kind of like, I didn't really feel many strong emotions. I didn't feel really happy. I didn't feel really sad or angry. I just kind of felt slightly crappy because of my headache, but that was like it. And even that I couldn't really feel very strongly. When somebody would talk to me, it would take me a really long time to process it. And I would be like, they would say something and then I would just kind of, yes. Like that, like really long delay, and it just like I was working through molasses, but at the same time I didn't feel like it. It was really weird, and it was not only the weirdest, but it was like nothing I would ever wish upon myself. Like why? I was trying to figure out why this had happened because I'm like, I got pretty good night's sleep, especially after I took the Delsym. Why am I having this splitting headache, which I usually get from sleep deprivation? I'm like, I don't understand. And it was probably about 2 in the afternoon when it started dissipating. And I don't remember at what point I figured it out. I was talking to my family about it. And something, once I was awake, something when I was explaining the math process about how I had figured it out. And I went from 2 tablespoons to the 1.5 line on the 2-ounce midget. I was like, wait a second, 2 tablespoons is the first line. That's the 1-ounce line. I OD'd on Delsym. And then I thought, I'm not sure that the dosage for an adult is 2 tablespoons. That seems like a lot. And I went and looked it up just to be sure, and it's actually 2 teaspoons. So I was supposed to take 2, and I took 9. Yeah, big difference, and it kind of explains the like drug-like high that I was experiencing. I've gone through some pretty weird things that were more like terrible. This was like not so much terrible, but like ridiculous, crazy, and actually hilarious after the fact. I kept saying, why do people do drugs? Like, why do people get drunk? Why do people do drugs and wish this upon themselves? If this is anything like it is to be drunk or to do drugs, why do you do that? Because this is the most like unsettling experience of my life. It totally unnerved me. It totally put my day off. I was in a funk. Why do people do this to themselves? So the only time that I've actually like gotten high, or I've never gotten drunk before either, is through Delsym. I overdosed on over-the-counter medication. Only me. I was trying to do math while I was sleepy. So don't do math while you're sleepy. And I just shouldn't medicate myself. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a big old thumbs up. If you relate at all, or if you thought any part was funny, comment down below with your story or what part was the funniest part, or if you realized my error before I got to that point in the story. If you're new around here, please consider subscribing and hitting the bell button to get notifications whenever we post a video. If you want to see what we're doing in between videos, our social media links are in the description below. And I will see you guys next week with a video with Abby. Probably. Most likely. Bye!